Hello, this is Lye Yosh. Welcome back to Life Study Library. Today I'll be talking about what every single pickup artist has been talking about. Science of attraction. And don't worry, I'm not going to be referencing my claims based on my personal experience, because in this channel, science is the norm. So first of all, recall a time when you've heard these pickup artists say stuff like this. Girls will express their attraction by raising the pitch of their voice, so the next time when you talk to a girl you like, try to pay attention to her voice. If she's attracted to you, you'll be able to notice her speaking in a higher pitched voice. And I'm going to tell you why this is a misguided advice later, but for now, let's just keep this in the back pocket of our mind. So before we dive in, we have a base to cover. We humans suck at noticing these subtle indications of attraction. Men tend to positively misunderstand these indications and think an attraction exists when there isn't. Women tend to negatively misunderstand the indications and won't notice the existence of an attraction, even though the other person is essentially launching themselves at them. So the self-claimed chads might seem successful with commanding sexual attention, but it's most likely the case that they have as many or more failures that they're trying to hide. Women, on the other hand, tend to doubt the existence of an attraction and usually will think like, maybe I'm being played, maybe this person doesn't really like me like that, when the exact opposite is the case. So my point is that both men and women are bad at noticing the target and hitting the bullseye. And ironically, the chance of nailing the target gets higher when a third party looks at a video or something and guess. So the chance of noticing the existence or the inexistence of an attraction is perceived better by some strangers. Yeah, it's kind of disappointing, but this is what psychology is saying. Also, statistically speaking, women can notice attraction better than men, or at least women can at least hit the target better than men can. This is because men usually don't have any timing of attraction. So if a guy sees a person he's attracted to, he usually just charges in full on. Like, once he's in the stage of liking someone, he usually stays in it. On the other hand, women have more reason to be restrictive or cautious about when to be on the stage and when to stay out of it. She has to think about how her action might affect her environment, She has to think about reputation, she has to think about whether her action might make her look like an easy catch, or whether her action might damage some other relationship. She has to think about stuff like this, and might decide to back off, even though she's attracted to the person who's approaching her. Again, just to clarify, these traits do not define everyone. It's just statistically speaking, these are the traits that each sexes tend to follow. So guys need to work hard here and be aware of this concept in addition to the techniques they're taught. Because no matter how many techniques they master, if the other person is not in the same boat, then there will be no chance of success at all. So how can you tell if the other person is on the same boat? Well, a study from Albert College explains one simple method in how this is done. I'm sounding like a pickup artist. I'm sorry, I'm aware of it. Don't at me. Let's go. In this channel, I'm going to be talking about these interesting scientific and psychological information by implementing data from scientific studies. So if you're interested and want to watch more of my past and my future content, make sure to subscribe to my channel as that will greatly motivate and support me. And without further ado, let's continue with the video. So this experiment collected 40 participants, 20 male, 20 female. The researchers asked the participants to manipulate their voice to portray attractiveness. So the samples pretended like they were talking to a person who they're attracted to, and they're expressing their message that, I like you, and I'm trying to get your attention by sounding attractive. So the results went like this. The female samples were able to successfully portray a more sexier voice. No matter who heard them, they were able to say, okay, so their manipulated voice sounds way more attractive than their normal voice. Yeah, so they were able to manipulate their voice to sound more attractive. On the other hand, this wasn't the case for the male samples. They weren't able to manipulate their voice to sound more attractive. So the guys thought that by sounding a particular way, they were able to portray sexiness into the stuff that they were saying, which unfortunately was not seen as sexy or attractive by the female listeners. This is pretty interesting, isn't it? So the reasoning behind this phenomenon is speculated to be because when men search for attractive qualities in the opposite sex, they tend to look for physical qualities, more stuff that's more direct qualities. So direct qualities like skin condition, how they talk, facial structure, body structure, these are the qualities that men look for when they're trying to search for an attractive female. So why is this happening? The reason is because back when we were monkeys, males needed to spread their genes as much as possible by mating with as many females as possible. So they needed to see and be able to immediately tell that the female he is interacting with was capable of reproducing. So the stuff that I just listed are immediate signs of reproductive capability, essentially signs of youthfulness. Because this is how males pick their mates, females are able to manipulate their voice to sound more attractive or make their skin condition look really good by makeup. So women develop these kinds of techniques to make themselves more attractive, and as a result, women like these were able to survive by passing on their genes. Men, on the other hand, didn't really require attractiveness in order to survive and pass on their genes, but rather used power as a method to express their reproductive capability. So the stuff that the pickup artists are saying, it's true. Men are more capable at expressing power through confidence, which is something that women want when they want to produce a powerful and capable gene. Because females get very vulnerable during pregnancy, she needs a male that's powerful and capable enough to protect her and the baby. So men sees attractiveness in physical looks, her physical attributes, while the women saw attractiveness in power, like physical power, or in the modern era, it's like economic capability, stability. So that's why, on average, women tend to choose men who are older than her, and men tend to choose women who are younger than him. So with all this said, I know I haven't touched on the main dish of this video, how to spot signs of attraction by women, according to science. And if you've been listening to what I said, you'll know what's up. Women won't show signs of attraction to a man who she's not interested in. But if she's actually interested in you, you and other people will be able to notice indications of her trying to be attractive. Specifically by manipulating her voice, she's trying to show you that she's a suitable partner for you. Okay, I've teased you enough. This is where the surprise comes from. So this experiment studied on how women manipulated their voice to sound more attractive. But how do you think they do that? This is where a lot of the mistakes are born, because we all think, oh, I know, girls will raise their voice to sound attractive because attractive means youthfulness, and youthfulness means higher pitched voice, right? And then I've seen instances where they're having a fight with their boyfriend or husband or whoever, and then they get a call, and then their voice pitch suddenly gets higher. So in order for you to tell if a girl likes you, you can tell when the girl raises the pitch of her voice. That's what the trick is, right? And surprise, surprise, this is not the answer. The study had a result like this. A lot of men, on average, found it attractive when the pitch of a girl's voice was higher. And I've already said the reasoning before. A higher pitched voice of a female ties in with its youthfulness, its reproductive capability as a female. But that's what guys like. That's what they want to hear. It's a little different when compared with how women express their attractiveness. And they express their interest by lowering their tone of voice. You see that, everyone? Now this is getting interesting. It is true that a higher pitched voice of a woman is liked by men, but women actually express their interest towards a man by lowering the pitch of their voice. And if guys are not aware of this, they'll think like, oh, because this girl raised the tone of her voice, she must be interested in me, and then fail spectacularly when they find out that it's not the case. And it's kind of obvious if you think about it. Like, even if a girl raises her voice when she gets a call from someone or talks to a stranger, that doesn't necessarily mean that she's attracted towards them. You see my point here? So what's going on here is that women know that she could be socially attractive if she raises the pitch of her voice. But when it comes to one-on-one chat with a person she likes, she lowers the pitch of her voice and speaks in a more huskier tone of voice. And that's when she's indicating an attraction. And this is what the study proved in its experiment. My message for the guys is like this. When you talk alone with a girl, and yeah, I know it's kind of hard for you to notice it when you start out with just the two of you, but when she's talking with, for example, a waiter or a third inclusion of a person or a group, try to notice the change in her tone of voice. If the pitch of her voice lowers only when she's talking to you, then there's a good chance of her liking you. So if you have a girl that you're interested in, if you want to know if she likes you back, this might be a good way to tell if the interest goes both ways. But more importantly, I'm positive that this came as a surprise to a lot of you guys, because what I've just said is the exact opposite of what everyone else has been telling you. There are so many advisors who are self-claimed as masters of the art of attraction or whatever. And there are so many of them. But isn't it weird that the world isn't filled with chads or people who are actually good at game? The answer is really simple. It's because these people are talking from personal experience, or they just don't know what's going on. This channel's base is on scientific evidence found by psychological studies that take statistical data, and the stuff that I explain to you might be in good use, and it might not be, but I have to say this with absolute confidence that my content is more reliable than some personal experience or just luck. I want to be one of the resources you can take from, so you can apply it to your own life and find a solution that fits you perfectly. And also, I'm going to be covering every single topic possible, which means I got y'all who wants to get guys too. Next time, I'm going to be talking about subtle signs of attraction by men. So if you want to listen to that video or listen to some of my other videos, click the subs, comment what you want to listen to in the future, and I think for now that's it. Alright, bye!